Seltzer. They're so good. They're super. I mean, they're
Ooh.
cheap. They're great. I get them all the time. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, hello.
Whoops.
What are you doing?
Whoops. Hello. We're keeping
Were
that.
you
We're gonna
listening?
keep that in. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Polar's great though. I do like them. They're this one's cranberry lime. That's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Oh, do they have
you
a
had it
mango?
before?
I like a mango seltzer. Call me crazy.
Crazy.
Do they have one?
There you go. You asked for it. I gave it to you.
And you delivered. You delivered.
Welcome to Going Yard. This will be a short one. We were just saying it's the football season's winding down. We are going to, of course, lament and mourn the upset that was the Eagles.
Guys, we'll get to it at the end. We'll get to it at the end.
Yeah. We'll end on a bad note. You know what they say. End on a bad note.
We thought they were. Yep. And we let them off the hook. You know.
There you go. There we go. We'll chat about the bracket too and how we did. We'll get into it. And then have a couple of fun things from the weekend and stuff. But I did. Does it sound different to you at all? Is there any kind of?
You sound a little crisper. Is that
a little crisper? Yeah. This is another mic. I've got the same handle from before. We changed out the mics. There's a little bit of a different. It was coming across just like a little bit muffly before, and a little bit
crunchy. It was crunchy.
Yeah.
It was a little sludgy.
Yeah,
it was a little sludgy.
A little sludgy before, but so Lisa, I'll get the weekly appreciation out early. There we go. I love my wife, and she's fantastic, and she was very funny after we recorded last week and we did the pod. She's like, let's fix that audio like we talked about. So she gave the new mic. The new mic is in there, but even before that, she was doing a lot of testing to see when the levels spiked, to see which is going well. And I'm sitting there editing. I'm editing the podcast, and she's doing that. And next to me, I'm trying to listen and see what to highlight and make a nice little cutout for social media. And I just hear next to me, he just goes, "Hey, brother." Hey, and just this low, gravelly voice. She goes, "Hey, brother, my voice is low and gravelly. My voice is low and gravelly." this 5'5" small woman is just yelling, "Hey, brother!" And just
brother, my voice is low and gravelly.
Doing these like impressions of me, but just like exaggerating the really deep bits. And she did that for a solid 40 minutes. It was
no way.
Yeah, like messing around with the level. She changed out the mic. And so it should be nice and crispy. Nice and cookie crispy.
Tasty. Yeah, it's tasty.
Yeah,
it's fresh. Like you pop that little, what was it called? A polar? That little
polar seltzer. Naturally calorie-free cranberry lime. This bad boy. Yeah.
That's a sponsor for the podcast. Polar. Pop into one.
Polar seltzer. Pop into one. Yeah. It is crispy. Almost as crispy as my voice.
Around the holidays, get to your Express, your Polar Express. Come on down. Little ASMR.
That come through okay? Huh?
I did. I didn't spill it on the mic because
I know.
Sweet Lisa spent 40 minutes working on that mic, you said. So
what else happened? We did the LA boys, we got out. We had a couple people traveling, so we got in a little happy hour. I don't know if did you peep the text thread there?
Yeah, because this is part of as our listeners know, the fantasy group, right? A good part of the fantasy group, right? Is that this kind of guys
the
Fellowship
getting together? Of the Fantasy Ring? That's that league that we're in, one of the great ones, and So the whole season, I mean, we're getting together, we're having a great time, and Jared ends up winning. Really crushes it, had an incredible draft, and just a great team. And Nick, the entire season, is just saying, he goes, yeah, I mean, they're good, but you'll fizzle. You'll fizzle out. You're not gonna. It's a good team. It's not a juggernaut. And he kept saying all these things to Jared, like privately in the group, and so they were going back and forth quite a bit throughout the season. And we get to the bar Friday, nice Irish bar. We get Guinness just flowing. Jared gets there. He's got a zip-up hoodie. Ends up unzipping it and goes, check this out. Before Nick gets here, take a look at this. He had on his T-shirt, and this is what you saw this, right? On the group text?
I did. Yep.
He has a T-shirt where he printed out the screenshots of 4 or 5 different texts that Nick said where you'll never win. Your team's not a juggernaut.
You're not a juggernaut.
And he screenshotted the league's final standings, and he made an arrow to number 1 for him and Nick's place somewhere in the middle. I think 5th or 6th or somewhere. And so he has a T-shirt printed out with the fantasy final score of his team winning the championship. And he's got his, for that league, we have a ring that you win. And so he has the ring on. He's got that. And Nick just goes, dude, that's awesome. It's psycho, but it's awesome.
But awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's not Manny. It is not Manny, but it is a little petty. It is a little petty.
There you go.
But honestly, I encourage and love that type of behavior in a fantasy football group. Those are the moments that build upon each other for the next year. Like, think about Nick's retaliation next year.
Oh my God.
I'm not going to bring up Art of War again. The season's over, but this is where Nick tactfully concedes and plays dead, plays possum. I'm fine. And then he regains his strength and he comes back faster and meaner than ever next year.
Yeah.
Next year's draft is gonna be a bloodbath between the two of them.
It
trying
is.
to snipe each other.
It was funny. I was talking to Jared, and he actually referenced an earlier pod episode where he was talking about you, Alex, where he goes, yeah, because we were talking. He nailed the draft. Do you remember his team? Like, he got Amon-Ra first round. Then he
won the championship, so he definitely nailed the draft. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, he got a team where he didn't. It put him in a position where he could just manage on the fringes and just go for upside, which is why he got Burrow later.
Yes. Right.
So it just let him manage in that way because he nailed the draft. So he got Amon-Ra, he got JSN, he got James Cook, he got the Tyler Warren was very good. He got Michael Pittman was very good.
He picked up Goff.
He picked up, but those first 3 are all like offensive. He got the guy that led the league in receiving, the guy that led the league in rushing, and then Amon-Ra was just an awesome, like, all around, like, catches and points in general.
It was a nasty team.
Yeah. Just a really strong core. And Jonathan Taylor. He had Jonathan Taylor.
What was his point of reference for the podcast, though? You said he was...
So his point of reference was, we were talking about the draft. He had nailed the draft, and we were kind of recounting the season and the way it went. And then he heard a pod episode a few episodes back where he goes, yeah, well, it was funny. He was coming in a little bit cold. He hadn't done fantasy in a few years. And so he felt like it was helpful to kind of come in with fresh perspective. Whereas Alex, from what I heard on the pod, he mentioned he was lost in the sauce. He was listening to too much shit in the pregame.
Way overload.
Remember you and I, we had that analogy where we're like, we know so much, but right before the part where it can benefit us and we can weed out the bullshit, you know what I mean?
Definitely. I got lost in the forest of information and some of it bit mad information. I remember getting caught up, like, almost like, no, this is too popular. Everybody wants this guy. And so this niche little running back will be the steal of the draft. And it's such a high risk move just because I want it to be almost original because I'm listening to so much that I think everybody knows, but it's like, no, I've just created a world where I am over consuming this stuff with too many other outside voices. Yeah.
So we talked about that. I'm excited. It was so fun because that was the first season of this fantasy league. And so to set the tone in that way was great. It was fun, the other leagues too, the way they played out, but it was nice to everyone doesn't know each other. They don't know how like good each other is. And Ken made the comment even that he said, this is probably one of the sharper leagues he's in because he said he's been playing with some guys back east. And he's like, wow, I've been kind of eating at lunch for a while. This felt a little bit, and Kyle definitely. I think Kyle is coming off like a juggernaut type of run, and he had a great season too.
Yeah, fell off at the end Kelsey got hurt and Patrick Mahomes because he was the Kelsey team. He would name his team.
But he's still he brought it up a few times where he was like, if I had won the 1 week, I outscored them the next 2 weeks. I would have won the league. You know,
that game is a brutal game to play with yourself.
I know. And so he was really getting into it, but he was great because I got him hooked onto the fantasy running that we're doing. You saw
fantasy hike. Yeah, fantasy hike. He's there. He's a couple days behind. But dude, he's on such a good pace. He's on such a fast pace. He is catching up quick.
He's got a doggo that he walks, and so we were trying to figure out if we could backload some of his data because he has some stuff that he keeps track of. So he was trying to get it.
If we're doing that, I did have a 5-mile run that I wanted to retroactively add. So
well, we weren't able to figure it out. We weren't able to figure it out. Which
I'm just saying, if we do, I think I have 5 waiting.
All right. Okay. Well. So I mean, it's probably good for us because he looks like he's out to a blistering pace, and if he was level set, he'd probably be already well ahead. Okay, all right, but we'll see. Who knows? But he'll be a good pace person. He is going to really. He's already catching up. And before long here, I think he'll really be neck and neck before we know it. I think it was about a 5 or 6 day head start that we had.
I wanted to ask you, did he add Mom and Spice as well?
I don't think so. I think he added Lisa, I believe. I don't know if he added.
Okay. I was just thinking that would be so funny if they're like, who's this Kyle guy?
Who the hell? Yeah, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
No, but he and I were great because we were chatting back and forth, and I am finally, Alex, I'm jumping off of the Apple Watch train. I'm done.
Jake. Oh, you get off the Panthers train and that ends, and now also the Apple train. A lot of trains ending. Yeah,
I know. I got so sick. I mean, I'm trying to remember. Do you have a smartwatch, or do you do any like?
No, I just have the phone that tracks my
on the runs,
the health stuff. Yeah, the health app on the iPhone. That's what tracks all my runs and stuff.
I was just getting tired because you have to charge it every day. So the battery life is really shot, and so I wasn't even getting the I was interested in the sleep stuff. And when we did the half dome, and I was tracking that, and it died halfway through the hike. Which I was just so bummed about. So anyway, that's what's leading me away. Dude, I was looking at watches. I was looking at Whoop. Have you heard of Whoop? Some people use that.
No, it sounds silly though. Whoop. Whoop. No, Whoop? I haven't. No, I don't know.
It doesn't have a face on it.
I'm sorry. Yeah, what? It's a watch, Jake. It needs a face. I know. What are you talking about? Then it's not a watch. You mean it's a tracker? Is that
pretty much? Pretty much. Okay. They call it a watch when they like on their website and stuff. But yeah,
it's faceless watch.
It's a faceless watch.
Sure.
It has an app and it tracks like when you're sleeping. when like what workouts, how strenuous your workout was,
Does it
those
know
type
if
of
you're
things.
naughty or nice as well?
Yeah, it does.
Keeps a list,
That's
maybe.
exactly. It's very good at it. It's very good. Checks it twice, and yeah. But that one's good for like it will help you be like you got a lot of sleep. Your workout yesterday was more of like a recharge. Today you can really push it. And it'll tell you like, you have some room to push. Or like yesterday you really pushed it. You didn't get a great night of sleep. You should probably lay low and just do more like flexibility, mobility stuff and set up for tomorrow. So like it'll direct you a bit more. But the one I settled on. I haven't gotten it yet. I ordered it. It's in the mail, but I got a Garmin watch. You know Garmin?
Oh,
You
no.
know
No, I
they
don't
used to
know.
do like the GPSs and stuff back in the day.
So it's just like a little tiny Jake GPS. It's tracking you, like where you're
Yeah.
at and your
Uh-huh.
whereabouts.
Yeah, it's figuring me out. It's so actually the Kyle was the one I was looking at a different model, but he found one that he's been using for a few years. Get this, it is solar. So it charges when you're outside walking around. And
Now,
so
this is great for you. I mean, you're in California, but Jake, on the East Coast here, that
right.
watch would last about an hour, maybe tops. We are hoping to get sunlight maybe a couple hours this time of year here.
Yeah. I mean, even indirect sunlight's fine. Like it'll still, I mean, obviously not as effective, but it'll still help it. And even like without the solar bit, like that's just the interesting thing that I thought was like crazy that like blew my mind that they could even do that. But even without the solar, it'll last like uh 10, 12 days or something like that.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So the solar just like keeps you from charging it that amount of time, which is totally fine. For me, like the Apple one is like a day every day. So anything over 3 days is like a miracle. So to have it that would be crazy. But yeah, dude, so I'm pumped. I think it's gonna be
That's
a blast
great.
to kind of
Let me
mess
know how the
around with.
sleeping thing is. I'm always curious about the sleeping thing. Always trying to help with the sleep. Just sleep hygiene, I guess kids are calling it now. Or you see on the internet, sleep hygiene. I've done grayscale on my phone, less blue lights, which is gray.
Yep.
And so I'm trying to do that kind of stuff because I don't know about you. Are you a little addicted to these phones here? I might be a little. I'm trying to cut back myself.
I am too. I had this one app I was given a test run. It was called Be Present. And it was fine. I just did the free trial. I don't think I'll do the full thing. But it basically is trying to like, turn your, you can do screen time and you can like lock things and apps. And it basically does that, but it kind of gamifies it where it's like you got a streak going or like you're, and it's trying to track it in a way that like, it uses the same type of techniques that social media uses to keep you engaged.
The dopamine rewards of being off of it, basically.
Kind of. So it's using the same techniques to get you off of it. So I thought it was a cool concept, but there was a part of me where I'm like, this is great, but I don't want to pay for this. Like I'd rather just do my screen time on my phone already and just be disciplined about it is all.
Right. I remember back when we were doing stand-up, so this was a while ago, I remember writing a joke about my meditation app that it's like this school bully that pushes you a lot and then says, give me your lunch and I'll go away, right? And I feel like the phone is like constantly pushing you, and then it's like, okay, now pay me to get rid of me, basically. To go away. Because that's how it feels to me. That's why the meditation app is funny to me, because it's like you're paying. Because I was doing it, and it's a guided meditation, and they talk you through it. But then at the peak of it, it's silence. And then I was like, why am I paying for silence right now? I am paying for literally nothing. I am paying for nothing. How is they got me? I felt like I got. And I respect, and I think meditation's important, and I think those things are good, but the way we have to go about it now in this this day and age, it's just like they got us. Yeah,
I think we're gonna look back at social media the way we look back at cigarettes. You know what I mean? And be like, oh my God, we gave it to kids? They're like, holy, whoa, what the hell were we
That's
thinking?
Not good for your health. Whoa, doctors were telling you?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's already like being banned and stuff like that or whatever. But oh my God. Yeah, it's tough because it's like there are so many great things too, where it's like, oh, I'm super productive and I can do a bunch of writing or I could do a bunch of this other stuff, whatever. My finances, all this stuff.
Right.
We were just talking about that, and that's really helpful to have. But then
there are other ones, like, I mean, for me, like, I'm dating again, the dating apps and everything.
Yeah.
Where I don't like the construction of them. It feels kind of weird to try to gamify that thing the way they do it to try to get money out of you. And I'm still using it. Went on a date this past week. Wanted to briefly chat about it here.
Hey now.
Now,
what app are you using? What app are you using, by the way? You Hinge guy, right?
I just deleted them all, but Jake,
no. Jake. Did you find the one? You found the
one? No. I'm just sick of these apps. I was using just two, Bumble and Hinge were the two, and Tinder if you really want a night out.
New Year's Eve, I don't know.
But no, I don't know. It's just a real racket. The way they try to get you to pay for stuff. There's all these people that like you, but you can't see them until you pay for it. It's like a paywall, basically. Yeah. But anyway, all of that to say, did meet a girl. We went on a date, and originally there was a fun joke where this was like in Christmas time we were talking. And she goes, "What are you up to?" And I said, "I'm watching Pirates of the Caribbean with family." And nice. She goes, "Oh, I would love to see those movies again." And then so we're, it's Hinge, so inevitably you have to just pick the date and then just see in person if it's gonna work or not. And so I said, okay, well, maybe we could get together. We could do some, light plundering and looting and, get on a boat and sail the seven seas, just jokingly. She yes-anded it, fun joke about us being pirates. And then it kind of turned into like, maybe we be pirates for our first date. And she was like, well, I'll be in a pirate accent the whole time. I'm like, I expect nothing less. So it was going fun, and it can be fun. But then I don't know this area that well. I didn't know where to pick. And so it was around Christmas. It was around Dad. Dad said, "Hey, there's a restaurant. It's like a boat that you should go on. It's perfect."
There you go. Hell yeah.
So I book it. But I didn't realize how nice of a restaurant this is. It is like really, really nice. It is like white tablecloth. It's very expensive. And our preamble to this is like, we're going to be pirates. It's silly. It's fun. And then I send it to her. And we both go like, we probably shouldn't do the pirate thing we were talking about at this restaurant.
Sure.
And so we go to the restaurant, and it's fine. I don't think we'll have a second date, but still very fun. Still very fun date.
Okay.
I don't know if we were the right match there, but we're chatting, we're having fun, and on this boat, it like looks like, imagine like the inside of a casino, the carpet, like the really nice carpet that's like over the top. And like almost like how they would check on like a card table, like the manager would check in, like, are we dealing these cards okay? Same guy, manager comes in, he's got a little Growlithe pin, a little Pokemon pin, and he comes in, how's the food? Is it looking okay? Yeah, a little Growlithe. I know, because I complimented him. He goes, "Thanks, my son got it for me." And we start chatting, and
there you go.
and have a nice little moment with him. But then another manager, separate guy, comes in. Is everything okay here? Again, it's like they just switched dealers and they're trying to get the new decks in. Like, we're like, yeah, it's still good. Like, she's got the lobster roll. Like, it's good. It's all good. And we go out, and then I run into Growlith Pan. I run into the manager as we're leaving, and he goes, "Did you guys check the top deck?" Now, a key element of this whole date, I should say, I left out, and this is the weather. It poured.
No.
Poured. Jake, horrible timing on my part.
On a boat?
On the boat.
Pouring
on
rain.
the boat. And it was supposed to be like, there's like, I don't want to say poop deck, the main deck. It's the main deck, you know?
Yeah.
And they're not doing seating out there for obvious reasons, but you could, Growlith tells me, hey, you guys can go up and at least see it. So we have our umbrellas and we look around, and then you go up to the upper level. We're joking around. Oh, is a crow's nest up there going to swing, pirate jokes.
A lot of mileage out of the pirate jokes. It sounds
like. Yeah. I think we fell back on it as a sense of comfort, if I'm really analyzing it. But beautiful view. Like, you could see, the bridge and everything there. You could see where the Sixers play, that was formerly the Wachovia Center, whatever that is. But really cool, really nice. And then we have the umbrellas and stuff, kind of light rain now, so not bad to walk in. Take a walking bridge over, and then we go to this little bar afterwards, and it's called the Queen and Rook, and it's a board game bar. So yeah, so you go in there and you have to reserve a table. Now, because we just had dinner, we were kind of later, and so they're like, sorry, we don't have any tables you can reserve, but usually you reserve a table and a board game, because they have, dude, like bookshelves and bookshelves. The walls are covered in different board games you can just grab from the shelf.
Very cool.
And play. And so we just sat at the bar and kind of chatted, had another drink and stuff. But anyway, I just thought, have you ever been to a board game bar? And then also, I was curious on your perspective of the boat. Would you want to do a boat date? Would you want to do just a boat dinner? What were your thoughts on this? And did this stir anything?
I'll preface with, I get terribly seasick. I doubt this boat had much. I'm assuming it's a big,
you're docked
thing.
Up.
You're not even. So I probably wouldn't have to worry about that. But there is a part of me that I've always wanted to do like, it would be fun to get a big group of friends and do like a river. What is it, like the river boats that kind of do
the gambling?
That's right. They are gambling a lot of times, aren't they?
On a river boat.
I guess that would be kind of wild. That's right. I was thinking of more of like a bar kind of scene, but they are kind of like, so I mean, that would be kind of fun with a big group of people where you're all kind of together and you're doing it. Like, I could see that being really fun. I mean, I guess you've got to go seafood, right? You didn't get steak, did you? Or like, did you?
Had to. No. They had like a Wagyu burger, and then even like, but dude, that was the other thing. It was so expensive. It was so expensive. Yeah. I was like, why did I choose this for a first date? I just was leaning on the boat gag way too much. And then also, this was a restaurant that I've always wanted to go to. You drive by it on 95. I always seen it. It was kind of like, even if this isn't the girl, I just want to go to this restaurant. So that was part of it.
Yeah.
Just bad luck.
I know it. I think I might know it.
It's called Mishulu, if you're looking it up. It's called Mishulu.
Nice.
It's been there for a while. I think it's a staple in Philly. I'm finding there's a lot of good restaurants in Philly. Like, Philly has a good eating scene. They did a Michelin star tour over this summer. There's a lot of really good restaurants in Philadelphia. So shout out.
Oh, nice.
To downtown Philly and everything. This is not far from Center City when you walked over and then kind of got into where the Queen and Rook was. It was kind of closer. Yeah.
That's a fun. I like that. the bar. So did you just stumble upon that, or did you like know that was there and make the plans to walk over?
Now I told her. Now she was a nerd as well. We kind of hit it off. Also, this is why I thought she kind of like matched my freak. I think you would say. Where or one of her prompts was she knows everything about Zelda. She said.
Okay.
And
that's
like
right. I think you told me this. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's why like she recommended, hey, after this, do you want to go to? She mentioned some of the bars down there, and so I thought that was a good one. We're both kind of nerdy. I said, let's go find some Korok seeds and go on an adventure kind of thing.
Nice.
And so she was the one that recommended it. So she was like, it's pretty close by.
The bar. So wait, at the bar, so you guys hung out at the bar then? Did you play any board games or?
No, yeah. So we go to the bar. It's called Queen and Rook. Cool place. Like I said, it was just filled. Like we walked upstairs and you could look down into. It felt like one of those game shops where everybody's like playing like Magic the Gathering or like.
Right.
But it's all different board games. It's like all different, and they have drinks and they serve you.
Was this like a Friday night, a Saturday night? What was this?
Saturday. Rainy Saturday at like prime time. We got an early reservation at the restaurant. So probably like, maybe it was like 4:30 or 5 or something because we knew we were going to go out afterwards. And so we probably got there at like 8 prime time on a rainy day where people are like, oh, let's just go to a bar and play board games, So it was like ideal night, and it was Saturday night. So it was like the busiest possible time to get there. But yeah, so we went to the bar, and I think you were texting me. It was Saturday night. That's why I missed the Panthers. And you texted me during this date with eyes with the Panthers, like our Panthers.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I don't want to talk too much about the date, but like, she was chatting a lot. She was chatting a lot. And I was doing a lot of listening. And so by the end, I was getting, ready to wrap it up. And you texted me Panthers. I'm like, oh, man, I could be watching this game here.
No, that's a bummer. It sounds like an awesome bar, though. I mean, that would be. It
was great. Honestly, the whole date was great. Just the whole experience and everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that would be sick. I would love that type of bar to kind of have as like the old watering hole where you kind of just like throw things around. We have like a Catan group that we play with. We're gonna play, I think, next week, 2 weeks. We usually get together every like couple months or something. So we usually get like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times in the year, a couple of outings,
Love that.
So I'd love to kind of have a bar atmosphere though, it would be pretty rad because we usually get takeout or something.
And also
having it at a bar would be fun.
Yeah, it's like a server comes by, so they're taking care of you the whole night. So like while you're playing Catan there, you can kind of be like, maybe I will get another one or get like some whatever. We didn't get any food because again we had just eaten. So,
and if you're losing, you know what I mean, you can kind of be like, well, I'll get into the potato skins instead. That's not a big deal.
Yeah. Definitely potato skins are for losers. Yeah, or for if you're losing. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you're winning, just like more shots for the table, I think. Yeah. That's fun. That'd be rad. We'll have to check that out with like a bigger group or something. Do like a game night or whatever.
It'd be great.
Pretty rad.
And there was a couple. On that strip, there's a couple other bars. You could do a little bar hopping that night too.
Oh,
before. Yeah.
But all right, I think what do we think? You get into the little bracket action, little
bracketology. Yes.
Here we go. Now you got it up. You got it pulled up. Now you were kind of in on it. You knew we were not going to do the guess here because you kind of knew what we got, right? You're following along on the picks,
and I was following along with like the games because it's so much fewer games. I was looking. I remember who we picked for each one, and so as the games were going, now we nailed it except for our beloved birds.
Except for the bird, we'll get to it last. I think. What do you think about that? We'll try about it last.
We got every other pick right, besides the one where we clearly went with our heart. Actually, honestly, with my head, I still think it's a better team. They lost Kittle too. Never mind. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we'll get to it.
I'm reeling.
I mean, we'll start, I think we can start in the NFC. It was perfect, Alex, that you and I went back and forth between the head and the heart with the Panthers and the Rams. And that's exactly how the game played out. So I know you were mentioning at the date you weren't sure, but they were feisty and it turned into a shootout. Both teams were just really like putting it together. Bryce Young looked like he had a dagger at one point, but then Stafford just did his Stafford thing and really crushed it. It was a great game. It was a great back and forth, good shootout. All of these games, this was like an incredible weekend of wild card football. Like every game was down to the wire.
Except for that Steelers Texans game. Did you watch that one at all?
The very last game. Yes, that's right.
That was a bit of a stinker, a little bit.
Yeah, the Pats Chargers too. There's a little bit more tension, but not high scoring. The Panthers Rams though, man, just like everything, that we liked about the Panthers came true. They had some good defensive outing. Like Derek Brown really had a great game. And because of him, other guys got opportunities to get home as well. He really showed up. Horn and Jackson, the corners, played really well. I mean, it's funny because they let up 34 points, but they still played really well. Puka was just nuts.
10 catches, I think 120 yards and a touchdown or something like that.
Yeah.
I saw somewhere in that ballpark, maybe not exact.
And
but
they came out firing with him as well. He was just nuts.
I saw a little screen pass that he got on the goal line, a little bubble screen, and he took it in for a touchdown. Tet, how about your guy Tet? Maybe offensive rookie of the year, they're saying.
Yeah.
That's what they said on the broadcast. Troy Aikman said in the broadcast, yeah.
I think he's got a real shot at it. And then the other guy, do you remember it? He was one of my stashes because of the IR spot in the beginning of the season was Coker.
Yeah, I remember you picking him up.
He finally showed up. I was hoping he was going to do it more in the regular season, but he finally had a great game.
Chuba, remember we had the whole segment through a portion of this year where it was the reincarnations, and this was our reincarnation backfield. Yeah.
D'Angelo Williams, yep.
And Jonathan Stewart, yep, with Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard. Yeah. And Chuba had a big day.
I think the biggest thing was probably the turnovers for Carolina. They had 2-1 and they lose by 3 points. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Otherwise, like the total yardage, they were 330 versus the Rams 411. So, I mean, the Rams definitely got it, but that might have been the difference in the turnover, that extra possession. That could have got it for him. So, I'm not sure. It seems like, I mean, if you're the Panthers, you got to feel pretty good if you're a Panthers fan. Like halfway through the year, even to start the season, they're probably like, this, what are we doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
We can't get this going. And then, and they really kind of opened up and it feels like they're really built. They kind of remind me of the Rams a few years ago when they lose Aaron Donald. They don't have their first round draft picks. And then they just kind of they end up getting Fisk and Verse a little bit later on. They kind of have some guys that are just kind of developing, and now they're finally like hitting their stride, and they have some good pieces that have like played together for a few years. And I feel like the Panthers are like the beginning of that, like similar type of thing, but different styles, obviously, very different the way they're constructed. But as far as like where they're at in the process, it feels like the Rams from a few years ago.
Yeah. And Bryce Young seems to be progressing along quite nicely. He's making sort of out of rhythm or out of structure plays pretty nicely and smoothly. And his small stature doesn't seem to be hindering him in a way that is hindering the offense. Obviously, they scored 31, but he's like making cool step ups in the pocket and throwing it at weird arm angles, and it's looking good. That's all exciting.
And he can run a little bit more too than I think he initially was showing the first couple of years there, which was nice. Did you watch the Bears Packers? Did you watch this nuts game?
This game, man, dude, I never gave up on the Bears. Again, a lot of people at my work are Bears fans because the company started in Chicago.
Oh gosh.
And so they're kind of used to this. Not down 18, but do you remember in this prediction we said if they get down by a lot and they're Bears fans, they're going to just eat them alive. They're going to be booing, and they were booing them.
Yeah.
At like halftime. And what is going on in Chicago? This is number 7 on the year of game winning drives, comebacks.
Yeah.
This one was nuts. It was like a completely different half. I don't know what happened to the Packers offense. I don't know. They just like halted in the second half. So shout out to the defense. Crazy second half.
They had you never see the like win probability stats or whatever. They as late as 5:45 remaining in the fourth quarter, Green Bay had a 94% chance of winning. And the score at the time was 27-16. And it's just hysterical because it's like Green Bay, like well over like 75% for 3/4 of this game. And then just both the tail ends, the beginning and the very end are just win probability Bears. It's one of those, I don't look at it a lot, but that one, when there's like the huge comebacks like that, it is so funny to see. Just the way it's graphed, where it just swings so wildly, just so abruptly. It was a crazy game. The turnovers, I think they ended up having 2. The Packers just stalled. They just stalled and had penalties. And it felt like it's like the Super Bowl with the Patriots. Like they just got so conservative. It feels like there's a part of me that felt like it was kind of like the Eagles are a similar thing, not for this past game, but like their style and methodology is like very similar if they were in this position. Like I could see them doing this.
Just turtling up, being conservative, not wanting to throw it away. And then the Bears, and how about Loveland? Loveland had a great game. He became like their number 1 target. This is like prime time breakout for Loveland this game here.
137 receiving, 8 catches. Swift had a little bit rushing. It wasn't really a big rushing game because Caleb threw for 361. Jordan Love threw for 323. So it was just like an air it out. I mean, the Packers don't have Micah Parsons. They lost some linemen. Like the fact that they're still just like battling and it's that they're winning against a really good Bears team, like it was pretty impressive. It just like, it doesn't feel that way because they blew a huge lead, If it was a shootout the whole way through, you'd be like, wow, what a great season for the Packers. Tough, they really tough. But the fact that they lost when they were so close to winning is just like, they blew it. They suck, it just feels very different.
Can you remember the last time the Bears were this good or made it this far in the playoffs?
No, everyone is saying that like this is the best QB the Bears have ever had already. Like year 2,
like this Cutler? Maybe Cutler is the closest I can think of. Maybe.
Yep. Yeah. It was Cutler, Jim McMahon, Jim Harbaugh, and Cutler's whole thing was he didn't care. He was just like didn't give a shit. His whole thing was like, yeah, fuck, yeah.
Rex Grossman got him to the Super Bowl, but it was mainly their defense and their special teams.
But that was also Kyle Orton played half that season.
Right.
Like, Rex was just the hot hand at the time. And that was also Devin Hester, special teams.
Definitely. And their defense.
and their defense. Urlacher, Lance Briggs was awesome. I think
Urlacher
Julius
showed up at this
Peppers.
game. I think he did like a
Yes.
rally. Did you see that part?
Yeah, he was there, and Devin Hester was in the box too. They panned him, and he has his Hall of Fame jacket. He's a really cool one. I like his career.
That's a great niche career.
Yeah,
a Hall of Fame returner.
Yeah.
He did his job so well they couldn't not give him a Hall of Fame jacket. Like pretty
and
awesome.
I'm really happy the league and like the Hall of Fame, whoever does the voting for that, I'm happy they recognized that because it was a very cool career. And I'm happy that that kind of career gets recognized because he was the greatest returner of all time based on like touchdowns and average yardage, all that kind of stuff.
So excited. That was the most exciting the kick return ever was. It's like people like because they saw him do it, they knew it was like more possible, I feel like, other returners. And so it felt like there's a lot other returners in that era too.
Yeah.
The kicking rules were different
too. Yeah.
Right.
Ted Ginn was very good. You remember Joshua Cribbs was very underrated.
This is before Hester, I think, but remember Dante Hall? Remember the human joystick?
The joystick, yes. He was very good. He was very good as well. I felt like Hall and Cribbs, what they didn't have on Hester was the top end straight line speed and the vision. Like Hester had such acceleration and speed that he could maintain that he just needed to find the hole and hit it, and then he was gone. Whereas like the other guys were much more shifty and elusive. Hester still had that, but those other guys didn't have that. Like, I mean, Ted Ginn had some breakaway speed, I guess, but Cribbs and Dante Hall was pretty fast. I mean, they're all fast, but Hester was just crazy.
Hester was a master of angles and like lulling you to sleep with how slow he would take out the return to set up those angles. And then like you're saying, hit that perfect angle that he set you up for because he slowly went to the right, hard left, and then just as vertical as he can get north and south. And he was just like a master at setting people up and like lulling people to sleep almost. So using that change of speed very well to set up all of his blocks. He was just so gifted at it. And
to your point, I think because he had that speed and acceleration, the math and the geometry for the way he returned, those angles were so different than people were used to on every other return because they felt as though they had a good angle, but they had he knew they didn't because he knew his own ability and they had seen it on tape and game plan for it, but it took a really long time. And even when they did game plan for it, he had counters and stuff. I remember the Bears do you remember that Johnny Knox fake play where they did snake in the grass and they laid down and they threw it across the field because teams were so worried that you could kind of get tricky and stuff. That might have been post Hester, but still.
But there was some shenanigans happening. There was some shenanigans happening. And I think eventually they just stopped kicking to him altogether and just said, we'll take the penalty. We'll just touch back. We need the touchback, or if not, kick it out of bounds, put him on the 40. Just don't give him a touchdown. It's like, you guys, that dangerous. So Bears, moving on. Exciting for Chicago there.
Very fun. Really cool to see them in the next round. Also, Caleb, I just want to mention too, it's very fun to see him as like very Gen Z. He's got the fingernails, but he just fucking owns it. That's all you care about, right? Is like, if you're gonna be weird and do stuff, like, don't be like, oh, I didn't mean, like, like just own it. And it goes so much further. And especially if you're winning, of course, like it's so much easier to get away with it. But he does remind me so much of Aaron Rodgers, where it's like, he's kind of weird and quirky, but even his style is like, he's throwing on the run and doing these jump passes and he doesn't throw picks. Even though I think he might have in the game, but like just over his career, his rate is so low. It's a really striking similarity where he's like, even the off the field, I can just feel it bubbling, like he's gonna, You know what I mean?
I guess I haven't done enough Caleb press conferences, but on the field, like you're saying, jump passes, he needs. It's wild how perfect a throw he can make with like just his base or his stance being completely off balance. Like he's like contorted and he's like jumping or he's like running the opposite direction, but then he flicks it in like 30 yards right on the money. Really, really impressive throws from him. And he seems to really thrive being down, 2-minute drill, like cardiac kid, like ice in his veins. Him doing the it's cold, like cold, the little burr, the little shake. I mean, Chicago, they got somebody. Yeah, they got
That's
somebody.
Pretty fun. And last thing I'll say too is, did you see Ben Johnson with all the shit talking with LaFleur? Did you hear about any of this?
No. What happened? What was he saying?
When he got the job, they asked him, they're like, you're staying in the NFC North. Like, how do you feel about that? He goes, there are some great coaches. You know, I'm coming from Detroit. Dan Campbell's a great coach. Kevin O'Connell is a great coach. And I always love beating LaFleur twice a year.
Oh, I didn't see
that. So that was his press conference. And then like, he just takes jabs. And there was this whole thing about like the Packers and like F them and all this stuff. And when they won, he just is jacked up. Everyone's going nuts. And he just sprints to center field. LaFleur kind of makes it there. He goes, doesn't break stride, shakes his hand and keeps going. Just keeps moving. And so he technically shook his hand, but it was just like this, like, yeah, whatever.
Wow.
Like,
what's the beef there? What's going on there?
He's like really, I think he's really adopted. You know how Aaron Rodgers, like, he used to own the Bears. That was his whole thing, was like, he owned the Bears. I think he was like some ridiculous, like 30-2 or something against them, or like some crazy record. And I think Ben Johnson was very aware of the mentality towards the Packers, that he just like adopted it and is just like a crazy psycho about it. And like,
this is that
I think it's resonating.
Energy. You know, that alpha energy, you pee in the corner, you mark your territory. Real primal stuff here. Primal stuff here.
Right.
I don't want to get into politics, but you know, real primal stuff here.
Just pee in the corner. All right. We did enough on the Bears and the Packers. That was great. What do we think? We just want to hit the Steelers Texans really quick. This was the last game. Did you watch this at all? Did you get into it?
Unfortunately, I did. Yeah, you know what's funny is I guess the final the total score is 38. I was 2 points off, and that missed extra point, missed $20 free lunch for work there. So I know.
Oh my gosh, almost nailed
that
it.
Extra point. I know, but now. I just did not see the Aaron Rodgers with like 3 tight end set offense doing anything to the Texans, and boy was that right. Like they just looked like they were. Yeah, Jake. They had 2 touchdowns. They had 2 touchdowns
on defense.
Steelers, on defense. Yeah.
That's
that
right.
Side of the ball, I was like, they are just so much better than this kind of slow, methodical Steelers offense. Yeah.
Well, they didn't have Darnell Washington. So there was like, I saw a lot more Thielen than I thought. A lot of Calvin Austin. Metcalf was back, but like
he didn't, dude. He got taken out. Stingley took him out of the game.
Who's that? The Metcalf?
Metcalf. Yeah, Metcalf.
Yeah. Dude, and our guy Lassiter, who I had brought up, did you see him with a couple plays? He really made some nice, I think it was like a screen or something. He really came up, had a good hit. But yeah, their pass rush, was it Petrie as well? The safety had a really big, was that the defensive touchdown with Rankins?
Yeah, the dish.
The Petrie dish, that's right.
Petrie dish, yeah.
That's right. And something smelled pretty Rankins. Do you remember him jumbling and rumbling down the field? Do you remember him?
Yeah. Yeah, that was a big hit. He really ripped out that fumble recovery and took it back. He ripped
rumbled
it
and
out.
stumbled.
Yeah.
And then I think it was, I will say, the last defensive touchdown, a little bit egregious. Didn't need to do it. They were like,
no, they could have sat on that one. Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
they could have just, I think that was Bullock.
Yep. Yeah,
another safety.
Yep.
Really good player too. I mean, they're just kind of loaded. They have like some good, between Petrie and him. I think there's some other guys as well. And then Stingley and Lassiter. That secondary is great. And I mean, it doesn't hurt that they've got the amazing edge rushers with Daniil and Will Anderson.
Well, that's the big thing. Watching this game, that's all they could talk about was their rushing four. And it's every single play. They're not even disguising it. It's four.
Yeah.
And then when you're looking at Aaron Rodgers, they're like, it must feel like a 6-man rush because they're getting beat on the edge every single time by Will Anderson and Daniil Hunter. And they did. And they had a bunch of sacks, a strip sack, and
they could
destroyed the game.
Crazy stunts. Like you want to talk about like angles with Hester, the angles with Anderson, where he will line up in one spot and loop all the way around. Mm-hmm. And the offense is like, where the hell is he going? Like, what is this guy doing? And then there's like 3 other guys coming at them. And it's like, what's going on? And he's doing these huge loop arounds. And I think that's part of the reason they can get home with 4 is they could do these crazy stunts that really get the offensive line off kilter. And then they can and Hunter can do similar things too. He was very good. And our boy, Derek Barnett, had a couple.
He's a rotational guy for them. Yeah. He's always part of a rotational 4-man front that can't be stopped, that Derek Barnett.
I think he's a very good like run stopper and just like power guy, like a good, just kind of like almost like a goon in hockey, where it's like he comes in there, really sets the tone. Really,
never forget he picked up that fumble in the Super Bowl.
Tom
Brady to end the game. We'll never forget you, Derek Barnett. I saw him boarding a plane once. That's right.
That's right.
We walked behind him. We're like, is that Derek? There. And we're like, oh yeah, he's got the air cast on because he was hurt. And remember, we didn't say anything. I learned my lesson with Donovan McNabb, but
we thought he was going to be the next BG.
I know. I wanted them to keep him.
You know who turned into the next BG though? BG. He just never left.
He's there. He's back again. Yeah, he's back again.
Never left.
BG.
But the Steelers defense actually looked great. It was just there was 2 touchdowns by the Texans defense. It was just
Stroud did not look good. Yeah, the Steelers defense played pretty well. It was just that Texans defense was so much better than that Steelers offense. That was really the story there.
Did you see Tomlin walked away as of today?
Yeah, he stepped down.
He stepped down. So that's
weird that him and Harbaugh same year they walk away.
And Stefanski for the Browns. All 3 in that division.
But we'll get to the Eagles, but Kevin Petula, he's down. So now there's a lot of those options. I bet you mentioned it, but for Eagles coordinators. Stefanski specifically there, not Harbaugh or Tomlin, but Stefanski. You reminded me. But
really interesting to see how division's going to shake out because it's like both of those guys were there almost like 15 and 20 years. And then now they're both gone, Harbaugh and Tomlin. So really interesting. I doubt Aaron Rodgers is back now. Who knows what the new head coach is going to do and bring. It'll be interesting. I don't think they're in a bad place. They just have a lot of money on defense, but if they could get some fresh ideas, they do have some good talent, I think. They just need some offensive like playmakers, I think.
Quarterback, I don't think Rodgers is going to be back.
Right.
That's a pretty big albatross. But if they get that filled with even anyone like decent in the league, like 15th best quarterback or like 20th best quarterback,
Like a Kirk Cousins. He's lower
Younger. I
than
just want
that.
someone younger. Give me something. Give some fresh blood after the Aaron Rodgers years.
They need
some
like
young.
a Darnold. Like Darnold, who's like a little bit of a
The
journeyman.
bridge. Yeah.
Like
Daniel
someone,
Jones type of move.
right? Yeah, someone they can make work, but it depends on the coach and the style they want to bring in.
Or they draft somebody and play him right away, throw him right in the fire. Rookie, just whoa.
And
they have a quarter.
They did it before. Ben Roethlisberger.
It's like he
was a
back?
rookie. He was a rookie. He had a great defense. Tomlin was young.
You hire an offensive minded guy to pair up with your new quarterback, new identity with this old defense.
I like it.
I don't know. Who knows?
They could be, maybe next year, that could be a nice little dark horse. They've got this old defense that's just like, they're a nice mix of like old vets and young talent, but it feels like all of their talents on the defensive end, Like, did you see Jack Sawyer make a good play? The rookie edge rusher? Did you see
Ohio State playing?
Yeah.
I remember him in Ohio State. Yeah. Tom's kid. That's right. Yeah.
Tom Sawyer. Yeah. So, and some other guys too. I think they had, it was fun to see Asante Samuel Jr. back in action. He was going for them. Very fun there.
Yeah, we wanted him picked up.
Now, did you watch Jags Bills? Football's better when the Jags are good, Alex.
I did. They looked pretty good, but Trevor Lawrence, he looked like the Trevor Lawrence with Urban Meyer. Do you know what I mean? He looked kind of like
mistake prone.
Yeah, like he doesn't know exactly what's going on. I mean, it's still a good game, close game.
Yeah.
But just that pick at the end to end the game was just like, there's like three guys there. What are you looking at? It's like he pre-snap was like, I'm going right there. I'm not even thinking about, I'm not going to read the coverage post-snap. I've already locked and loaded it. Yeah.
Yeah. The big takeaway I had was, I think I texted this to the group where I said, did PJ Washington Space Jam Brian Thomas's talent away? What happened? PJ Washington looks like a legitimate guy. They have Jacoby Myers, who's under contract, and then Brian Thomas also there, and Travis Hunter. They like weirdly, I'm excited for them next year. I think Cohen did a really good job and got them there. It was just kind of like Josh with the greatest tush push there ever was. Did you see that? It was like a
14-yard, almost touchdown, I think, but they put him on the one, maybe. Yeah, that was like the old Goose and Go days. Remember those, Jake?
Oh,
Goose and Go.
You do the silent count QB sneak when they're not ready for
football. That was when Jake and I played Pee Wee football. This is a nostalgia trip, real quick. Take us on a ride. Jake and I, Pee Wee football. Pretty good blockers. We were pretty physical when we were younger. They say, you guys, none of this running back stuff anymore. You guys, right guard, left guard, and just you're blocking up the middle. Our quarterback, our dear friend Max, we'd run QB sneaks. We call them Goose and Go, and we would get like 40-yard runs out of QB sneaks. We would we'd gash them. It was our biggest play in Pee Wee football.
Yeah, that and the fake punt, which had a quite the signal. Yeah, there we go. It was our coach. Our coach would kick his leg, but just pull back his arm as if he's pulling back like a pull up kind of thing, and he just
a clear
he's like
indicator,
getting a trucker to kind of honk his horn, but on the side, and
so you knew it was a fake.
Yeah, very discreet, very discreet fake. But Josh Allen had a great game. I mean, 28 for 35, touchdown, 273 throwing. And then I feel like they had a really good run defense on James Cook. And it was really like, the Jags did have them on most, like, they got them in total yards, 359 to 340. The turnovers were 2-1 though. I think that was a big a big thing there. That was a bit of a downfall for them. But man, it was a close game. It was a really close game. The whole time was back and forth. Like this whole weekend was really good games.
It was. That was a very good game, entertaining game. That one.
Yeah. Tre'Davious White turned back the clock a little bit and had a couple of big plays. Did you see that?
The deflection, yeah. The deflection that led to a pick, I think, yeah.
Did you watch Pat's Chargers? What do we think? Herbert, MVP or what?
Well, I kind of fell asleep because the Eagles lost. I was in
a place.
A fugue state. Yeah. And
so
it was later. I watched the beginning of it. And they're showing the Patriots, and I just didn't want to watch it, so I didn't watch it.
There you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah, we didn't need. I didn't. I was a similar boat there. I kind of kept tabs on it, but I didn't really. I wasn't watching it thoroughly. I had similarly had just gotten back from a long walk after the Eagles.
I loved what you said that. Yeah.
So, anyway, I was getting back and like, whatever's going on here. Who gives a shit? I was rooting for the Chargers, but man, it was just this slow, pandering game that I was like, ugh, I don't want to.
You reminded me. So the Eagles lose, and then I go, you know what? The Sixers are playing great this year. The Sixers came on at 6. So then I put the Sixers on. Maxey ties it up. They go to overtime and they blow it in overtime. So Sunday was the Eagles blowing it and then the Sixers blowing it. Then I tried to put on this Patriots Chargers game and I just couldn't do it, Jake. I just couldn't do it. I put on the beginning, some of it, little like second quarter action, but that was about it.
You know what the knife was that really just turned into the side? Milton Williams with an incredible sack. He just crushes my sweet Justin Herbert, who I have, been carrying around. And Milton Williams is this massive presence that just hammers. I mean, it's a terrible offensive line. It's a terrible offensive line, but I'll tell you what, the Patriots are getting a freaking cakewalk this season. It is just lining up. The stars are aligning.
Did you see the Milton Williams celebration with Vrabel?
No, what did he do?
He maybe it was after that sack, but he makes a big play. He comes to the sideline. Vrabel wants to like celebrate with him. Goes to like chest bump him and go to him. He instinctively headbutts Vrabel and he gets a bloody lip. Vrabel has a bloody lip. And they're like laughing, like couldn't be having more fun. Just a fucking pig in mud, just rolling around. And you're right. They're getting a cakewalk. I hope this Texans, they're matched up with the Texans now. I hope they really wake them up. I hope that those DNs wake up Drake May. I hope it rocks them back down to reality.
I did. We better get a third round comp pick for Milton Williams. Would better be
minimum. I think that's the highest you can go. Actually, I don't know if it gets up to 2, but it better be 3.
Yeah, I think it is. So definitely better get that for him because he absolutely got paid and he performed.
We missed him in the beginning of the year. Before the Phillips trade. We needed him,
And Carter was in and out of the lineup this year with his spit gate and some that injury. And so definitely missed him. And I am happy he's doing well. It's just a bummer it's the Pats. The other thing, Drake May had a pretty good game, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, 268 throwing, and he also led his team in rushing with 66. So he had a big day. He's really trying to cement the MVP case, but did you see Khalil Mack just crush the rookie left tackle? It was, I guess not
strange. Is he the guy with like short arms or something?
Yes, Campbell. I think it's Campbell.
Will Campbell or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that was one moment I could enjoy where I was like, oh, there we go. It was crushed him into Drake, but I mean, they look good, but it's the same thing where it's like it was just a slow meandering game, and the pass rush was able to get home. And dude, Herbert, it's like the guy's whole career has just been a bunch of excuses. But when you watch the games, you do really feel bad for him. Like, he really does get crushed. It's like, again, Milton Williams just blowing up a guard and coming right up the middle. It's like, what are you supposed to do? Just like, you can't roll out, there's contain or whatever. And so he's just kind of like, well, fuck.
I saw, there's like, there's QB breakdowns. It'll be like a former player like JT O'Sullivan or someone like Dan Orlovsky. Yeah, those kind of guys that break down. So it was like a little one play or something of that game. And it's like, so here's Herbert. He takes a snap. The center gets blown up, and so he's got somebody in his face. So he dodges him. Then the right guard, he gets destroyed. He dodges him. And then he makes a throw in between 3 defenders in a zone around this guy. He throws it away from that defender, and then that guy catches it. That's going to be 4 yards for Justin Herbert. It's like he has to do all this stuff, like you're saying, to just barely make any progress.
I do think they will have a big comeback with the tackles coming back next year and Hampton being really solid. And Never just kind of resetting early. A little bit. What's that?
Mm-hmm. Never wrong, only early for the Hampton, my Hampton year prediction for fantasy.
Yep. Yeah. I think they'll be a really fun team, but it's always injuries with the Chargers. Every year it's something with injuries. So, it's the same song and dance. It's tough. You can't really, they've got the talent. They look really good on paper. If Herbert with that kind of talent could have some good tackles, good running game, and then, I love Ladd is great. Johnson had some moments this year. They could be really solid. But anyway, off into the sunset they go. And last game here. Game. Alex. Oh boy. I gotta tell you. I talked to you about this before the pod. I'll bring it back up. I got a haircut. Finally, as you could see, probably from the thumbnail, maybe if you're watching on the video, got a haircut. I had a whole fiasco. I had this huge fiasco before the holidays. I was sick. You heard me on the pod. I was potting sick there for what felt like a month. And so I had to cancel one of my haircuts. And when I went to reschedule before the holidays, I'm around family, around friends, my barber, Mickey, God bless him, Philly guy, he was already back east for the holidays. So he couldn't reschedule. I ended up cutting my own hair. Lisa did a little bit of a touch up, but it looked fine. It wasn't great, but it was fine. And it was only fine for about a couple weeks until it grew out. And then it was long and just going up and back in the back of my head. And it just looked like this weird thing. So I became a hat guy. And anyway, this past week, I get in there. I've got a hat on. I go into my Philly barber, Mickey, and I'm just like, what did you do to me? I'm a hat guy now. I've got to be a hat guy. What did you do to me? And he was like, sorry, buddy. I was in Philly, caught some games, and then all hell broke loose because Alex, he's the only Philly guy. I honestly think part of the reason he scheduled me for the time that he did, we were surrounded by a barber shop full of 49ers, Raiders. We were in enemy territory, and it's he and I. There were other barbers pointing scissors at us. No, it was hostile. It was hostile.
Was this before the game? This is before the game.
Before the game. This is Thursday, Friday, and I'm getting a haircut. And he and I'm going, it's not a contest. This thing, the defense is too good. The 49ers are one-sided. Their defense, who do they even have at linebacker? Eric Kendricks? They're walking him out. Does he even know the playbook? I was so noisy. Me and Mickey were really banging around. I'll tell you what, Alex, this felt terrible. This was a bad loss. I was so confident, Alex, so confident. And it blew up in our face.
You can't go back to that barber until the 49ers are out of the playoffs.
That's right.
You can't go back until they're out. I mean, we, on this podcast, just last week, we chose the Eagles to go to the Super Bowl. That's how I felt about it. Here, you could collect receipts if you're listening and you're like, no. I want to hear you roll. I want to hear you really grovel now. I was wrong. I really thought, Jake, remember we had this stupid, Jake, we can never do this again. I'm tired of you talking me into this every single year you do this. Look at me when you say, you always go, no, they're just saving it for the playoffs. Jake, they don't want to show their hand. It's this master strategy. It's not complete incompetence. And it was, Jake, they were who we thought they were. They tried to tell us all year who they were, and we said, no, that's not who you are. We know this was 2023, but shrouded in a little bit nicer wrapping. But
I mean, we did say that. We said that in the offseason. Do you remember? We laid out the pattern. We laid it out. We said,
that's right.
Good coordinator, they go to the Super Bowl. They lose said coordinator because of the Super Bowl. They promote from within. They tank. They then tank. They then get a good offensive coordinator. They go back to the Super Bowl. They then lose the coordinator because they went to the Super Bowl. They then promote from within. And what did they do? They tanked. They lose in the first round. Oh, my gosh.
I think what was most damaging about this one, A.J. Brown dropped 3 different passes in critical 3rd or 4th downs, and he was seen yelling at Sirianni. The noise is going to be loud now the whole offseason about him. If they should trade him, what are the trade packages I've already seen? A 2nd, a 3rd, and a 7th. I saw some BS Bleacher Report. And it's just going to be a noisy offseason now. It's going to be even harder for A.J. Brown, who more than anybody either creates drama or is around drama. And I don't think he likes being around it, but he creates it and it happens. He said no to the press conference afterwards and hasn't talked to the media in maybe 6 weeks or something like that. As far as the actual play in this game, it was like half of the games I've watched where they play one good half on offense and then proceed to punt for 4 or 5 straight games. And then it's okay, now put the defense on the field for an entire half and just wait till they get tired. I know the defense didn't play great here. Q had 2 picks. That's great. But the offense, if they score 23, I don't think that's all 23 is all the defense's fault. It's the offense putting them out on the field tired. And you can't beat 23, even though you kind of gave them that. They gave you a 50-yard start and even beyond that. They gave you short fields with those turnovers, and they played winning enough football. I know it wasn't the best defensive game, but they had to do double end around passes to get touchdowns. And just the defense I'm not as upset with. It's the offense again.
Yeah. It's the most frustrating thing about the game. It was so gettable. I'll start off with this, and I don't want to end with this. It's just, I want to address it initially. The penalties. I mean, they lost the game. They sucked. The 49ers were a better team. But the penalties, it was 7-1. So there was 7 penalties against the Eagles, 1 for the 49ers. The timing of the penalties.
Yes.
Every time it was, they lost a first down, and they also lost on defense a sack. They lost huge drive killers. Both it kept the drive alive for the 49ers, and it killed a drive for the Eagles on just two. The other, I think there was maybe another one or two that also kept a play alive, kept the momentum going, and it was each time the penalty felt a little like the PI was very annoying. The PI, because they're both playing that way, officiated consistently. Just
that's right.
Consistency is the frustrating part.
What I don't like, and I'm going to get on a real tirade here. What drove me absolutely insane? Yes, the penalties. Now, again, I'm going to make the same preface. You gotta play better that the penalties don't matter. The Eagles' offense is so conservative and slow and methodical that one penalty destroys all of that, because then your 3 or 4 yard runs trying to get to first down, when it's 1st and 20, they force you to have to play a bigger open offense like most of the league can run. Not this offense. This offense has to play like 3-4 yard rushes with Saquon, 1st, 2nd down. Then it's maybe like a shot or an over or maybe some sort of Goddard thing. And so I'm with you there. On top of that, I cannot listen to Tom Brady call an Eagles game. Every time, he clearly hates that they beat him in the Super Bowl, and he's a psychopath that can't let go of. He's like Jordan that can't let go. Clearly, Nick Foles, him and Eli Manning, he will never accept as reality in his brain. So I think watching this game, what I noticed in the beginning, and then I was looking for it, when an Eagles play happened, and it was a good play for the Eagles, he would talk about what the 49ers did wrong. And then when the 49ers made a play, he would talk about what the 49ers did right. He would not talk about the Eagles. He did not talk about them. And then on the penalties, he just accepted whatever they said. There was no like, you know how like Romo was like, I don't know about that one, Jim. And he's like calling his honest opinion. Tom was just like, whatever the referee said.
Well, he was also a Niners fan growing up too, on top of it all.
He would get excited. Here we go now. And then he'd get excited about the 49ers. The Eagles would score. Dead silence. It would be dead silence. And then it would just be Burkhardt would have to pick it up. And he would just not say a word. And they can't have him doing Eagles games anymore. Because on top of the penalties, it felt like they were, sorry, I just get so angry.
To add to it, the Fox broadcast is horrendous. I have it here on the notes. Terry at the pregame and the halftime and the postgame. Terry Bradshaw he's just lost. Like, he'll just say random shit and derail so many segments, and it's awkward. Like, they all feel awkward, and it's awkward as a viewer, and they're just like, they all feel like they're stuck in a situation with Terry. There was one point where they're doing their predictions for the game, and they're going down the line, and everyone just says who they're voting for, and he goes, well, he's the second one out of 5. And he just goes, well, I'm the only one on the 49ers. And everyone else is like, well, we still have to do our picks. He goes, I remember it on the pregame, guys. You guys gave me a lot of crap on the pregame, or like on the preamble, the stuff the audience doesn't see. He's like, you guys gave me a lot of, the production meeting. Exactly. So he's like, you guys gave me a lot of backlash for being the only one. And they're like, yeah. But the audience doesn't know. So there's no point of us doing it. But then they had to go down the line, and Howie's like, well, like Terry said, I'm on the Eagles. And Strahan's like, yep, it's the Eagles. And it's like, they go down the line, and Gronk is like, Eagles, yep. And so like, he just derailed the whole little segment, and everyone, and it's just like, every single time, everyone is just on just like pins and needles, like what, like, just walking on eggshells. Like, what is Terry about to say on live television? Like, what is he gonna mess up? it is just like so hard. They have to make a change. Like I love Terry, I respect him, I respect that crew, but it's so bad to watch. I can't watch it. And then it goes into Tom, who
Right.
I normally like Tom, but yes, his bias around the team, our favorite team, is like it
Yeah.
made it such a brutal watch the whole way through.
There is
Brutal.
there's a part of me that like because I remember in the middle of the year, Terry went on some rant about pigs being sent to his house or something,
Right.
and everyone just gave a real "What are you talking about? Like, what
That's
on
right.
earth are you talking about?" And so like what he reminds me of is like that feeling at like a Thanksgiving table when Grandpa is going on a tirade and everybody's like, "Oh no, we like
We
the
lost them.
train." Yeah, trains are off the tracks right now, and it's going
Yeah.
full speed right now. Um, because, like you said, is live television. So Terry is just like excited to. Why do they have him doing the highlights? That doesn't
He can
at
never keep
least.
up. Has it
He,
been like 5 years of him being able to keep up with the actual call for what they're showing on the visual? Yeah.
they always like Howie saves him, or I forget the host's name. Has to save him. They have to like jump in and save him, and they're so used to it, where they're like kind of like it's like training reels almost. And then on
Yeah.
top of that, you add Gronk, who's
Yeah.
like, you know, he,
Also, very big loose cannon. The whole
yeah,
Fox
yeah, that's a good way to put it.
broadcast, the whole Fox broadcast is just like,
The
do you
worst.
remember we talked about like they don't show as much of the replays for like specific things? And it was almost
Yeah,
like a conspiracy of like they want a team to win. And there's like this sense of like they're just showing the narrative they want to show.
right.
Um, and
They
it's
show the
just like,
replay not of like the egregious penalty, but they show the quarterback throwing the ball that then they got like pass interference. It's like,
right.
why are we seeing this part of the player? Why didn't we see any of that clear penalty? Or we're not going to show you the guy that just got like a 15-yard penalty. We just don't, you
Yeah.
miss penalties.
Yeah, but they do show it sometimes. So it's like, oh, is there a motivation for when you show it? Like
Mhm.
why are you showing some and not others? So that's like the annoying part with the broadcast. It's just
Last
like,
thing I'll say about the conspiracy refs Fox broadcast and the Eagles game, I saw a ref I've never seen before um when they cut to Nick Sirianni and Big Dom is there. There is a guy standing in front of him. He's a ref, but he has these like tinted sunglasses on and like orange tinted sunglasses
fuck yeah.
standing in front of Nick Sirianni, and then they go to that shot. I just had this weird feeling like that's the ref that's fixing the game. I just had it in my head.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy that is making sure Nick Sirianni knows, hey, you're not going to get the calls you want this game, and I'm not going
Yeah.
to let you have them. I'm the guy that's going to deal with you. Anyway, that's all conspiracy. They lost and they should have lost.
Yeah, apart from the penalties of the conspiracy, I do want to get into ripping the birds themselves because
Yes, yeah,
it
they
is,
deserve it.
yeah, they do deserve it. The offensive line, I just feel like was beat up, and like I heard some of the beat reporters talk about like it was a joke that Cam Jurgens got a Pro Bowl at center. Did you hear
I
about
couldn't
this?
believe it.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. I didn't hear anybody talk about that, but I thought he was injured for the first half of the year. I had no idea where he got that Pro Bowl. Of our
Yeah.
linemen, I didn't think he was even the best lineman that we had. Like Malata probably over him. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
What
Milata
did
had
they
a good
say?
year. Like,
Yeah.
well, it was just something along the lines of like it was just like a like they didn't know as a beat reporter covering the team how nationally you would look at him and think that. But who
Mhm.
knows? Maybe it's like the center position's really weak. I don't know. Maybe there was just like alternative. He was an alternative or something. I don't know how it played out, but that
Mhm.
was pretty wild because they show that in on the graphics. So I was
Mhm.
seeing that. I was like, what? How the hell did he? It's like the thing that was so annoying is like they did run it a lot. They had a lot of rushing yards, and they did have really good time of possession. They had 35 minutes to 24. So they did control the ball and control the clock. They ran for 140 to San Francisco's 75. Now, the passing was a completely different thing. The thing that pissed me off so much, they had the trick play. And I'm like, of course we get beat by a trick play when we haven't even run one all season. Besides like some tush push end arounds, you know what I mean? Like that was kind of the extent of it. But we didn't there was no urgency to get the things we needed. It was much more of just like a lack of risk. Defense will win it. And like,
Yep.
It kept us in it, but like at the same time, when they were doing trick plays on the other side, and McCaffrey looks like he's like Randy Moss, it was a tough watch to kind of see it.
You're completely right. They played a turtle shell offense, not just for like the fourth quarter we're protecting a lead, but like the whole year. Like Sirianni, clearly his number one thing is no turnovers, like win the turnover battle. Yeah. And so it's so risk averse and they're so happy to punt it. It makes me, they just like, I don't know if it's a lack of trust in Jalen Hurts, but they won't even, how many times did we watch a game where it's like third and long and they just run a draw play and punt? They just give up. They just go, it happened one time, we got it once, so we're not going to, they just won't even force a pass. They don't even give Jalen an opportunity to throw it deep, to practice those. That's why I think A.J. Brown was just going crazy, is like, you're not even giving us chances at these plays. Like, we can't even pick up a third and long, let alone a second long. It was almost like clockwork. First down rush, second down rush, third down, either pass it if it's in medium, or if it's so long, just run and then punt. And they were just so happy to punt this year. It drove me crazy. And definitely the offensive line looked like they took a huge step back because of, I think, they really gave everything the Super Bowl run. Like they played through injuries. They literally left it all on the field. Like Landon Dickerson specifically, Cam Jurgens, Lane Johnson, and all three of them, I think, got destroyed. We lose Mekhi Becton. Those three guys are then all 75 to maybe 50% of their effectiveness throughout the year, in that sort of range. And then Mulata is kind of on his own, maybe took like a minor step back, but Mulata was fine. And then Steen is not as good as Mekhi Becton, definitely run stopping, or making
creating
and
running lanes. Yeah.
Right. And so all of that combined with then an offense that like leaned into what we did last year, which is like conservatively run and not turn it over. It just was it was just a recipe for a mess, because we would run the ball on first down, get like 2 yards, be behind on the sticks, and then give up once it got to third down, and then just punt. And that's what this game looked like after a certain while. Like it did look good in the beginning. Like Saquon got a couple good runs and it looked like we had a healthy offense. And then they just did what they normally do, is they just got way too conservative. And then these dry spells of 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. And even though we had time of possession, it was like all the possession was like front loaded, and then long periods to just really wear out the defense. It's going to be interesting to see this offseason who we keep, how we retool, and what coordinator we get too.
It is just so frustrating. It just feels like and like I do want to talk about Jalen Hurts, because it's like, I mean, it is the play calling, but you hear Brady was really critical of like him not staying in a clean pocket and rolling out and not completing things. Like, to me, it feels as though there's just like they just looked tired always. It just feels like an old, expensive offense. they all got paid. They all, really put a lot of effort in last year. The crazy thing about Jalen for this year, this was the most passing touchdowns he's had in a season. Yeah. Now the
that
difference,
blows my mind.
Yes, he had 25 to 6 picks. Which the other thing is he ends up he's big on the rushing, right? So he did have way more rushing touchdowns the past few years, but he had 8 rushing touchdowns this year with 2 fumbles lost. So he ends up having, what is that? 33 touchdowns to 8 turnovers, 6 picks, 2 fumbles. So like, what's funny is like on paper, fine, on, like that's like a totally fine year. The other thing is AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, both hit 1,000 yards. Both hit 1,000 yards. Like, if you look back on this season and you just look at the box score, you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, they were in the middle of this run of this era, and they kind of just hit the notes. They hit the notes, and they just kind of went through. And what's crazy is watching it, you don't think it's the ugliest looking thing because it looks like stock plays. It looks like someone just did the install in like the preseason and was like, hey guys, here are the core concepts. These are the base plays. And then they did nothing with it the rest of the year. And and not only was it just the base plays, there was no other plays. It was like, I know Sirianni, his like philosophy is like, we beat our one-on-ones. We're very simple and we beat our one-on-ones. That's why AJ Brown has only ever done a slant route and like a go. Those are like his 2 routes. And it's like the whole idea is if he's one-on-one, he can beat someone doing those 2 things. And, it won a Super Bowl. It worked out. It needed the offensive line to be completely dominant and win those, which, like you mentioned and outlined with the whole turnover, they did not have that. As far as this game, they did kind of like the craziest thing is like, I do think this game played out the way they have been playing all year and the way they wanted the game to go, which is it's almost like the Steelers stereotype, which is this muddy game that like looks ugly that they pull out. And quite frankly, they had the opportunities, but with penalties and then also the drops by AJ Brown and a couple of plays here and there, those were the difference. And the other thing, the kicker, and I mean that intentionally, we missed the extra point and we lost at the end of the game. We could have kicked a field goal to go to overtime. Instead, it's 4th and 11. We have to get a first down. We don't convert. The kick absolutely came. I mean, their kicker missed too, so there's a little bit of a wash there. But ultimately, like, it just there was a couple of things that game could have gone either way. And it's like the philosophy is no margin for error. And when you have that philosophy, there's no margin for error. And it just they had a couple errors and it was just a tough beat. I wish Jalen could make more of nothing, like I wish he would, like it's a playoff game, like maybe not slide. I know during the regular season maybe we're diving forward. He's known for that, but that's why like even AJ Brown is like, oh, he didn't lay out, he didn't, like, it's like, guys, this is the playoffs. Like when Jalen's rolling around, everyone's like, oh, he just throws it away. He doesn't throw a good ball. No one's working back. It's a stock play that nobody has practiced the improv, types of tools to be working, which is make your way back, find open space, be able to flag and look for different signals or different thing. There's none of that. It is just like, I ran this stop route and I just sat here and then like it's covered. So there's nothing to do. And it's like, it is exhausting to watch when it's that basic and it's not working.
it creates no advantages for the players, like no
Right.
leverage advantages within the play. You're not
Yep.
sending a guy in motion to confuse the defense of which guy to pick up in a bunch formation. They hardly run bunch formation. What my least favorite, they didn't run a lot in this game because Calcaterra was hurt. So I don't even think he played in this game. But over this year, they would run 2 tight end sets and throw a pass blocking Calcaterra, or I'm sorry, a pass catching Calcaterra, who's not a good run blocker, into inside zones and expect him to take out their top edge rusher,
Yeah.
or like take out the top defensive tackle. And like that would condense these boxes and have these tight defensive boxes with a guy that's not as good at this formation. And they didn't even use that as a shrouded Machiavellian disguise to then have him, release later. No, they
Yeah.
just used a guy doing the wrong job for what his skill set is over and over again because they just wanted to run the ball and they thought big package. And that guy's listed as tight end, where you
Yeah.
could see like clearly a one tight end set with like a fullback Latu was a lot more effective this year. We saw that be more effective.
Yeah.
Clearly Saquon is tired. Let's use Tank Bigsby as a spellback more and use him more effectively throughout the game. And like there should be something like I'm going to use a basketball analogy. The Golden State, their whole offense or pace and space is get everybody touches in the offense, even if they're not all shooting,
Yeah.
get them in the rhythm of the game. They're not standing there playing ISO basketball. And that's what the Sixers did. And it looks stale and horrible because it's win a one-on-one and nothing else. And that's what this offense looked like in football, which was getting guys easy looks to just touch the ball, get involved in the game. This is why AJ Brown's upset. This is why the team looks miserable, because you're putting your whole reliance on them winning. You're not saying, hey, let me get you some easy wins. Let me get you an easy touch. They did it a little bit. They got like Devontae Smith had a rush. Did you see that play? Maybe they did like
a little end around. They did like
like
and then they
put
put
him
him
in
in
the
the
backfield.
backfield and threw it to him.
Yeah. Where was that the whole year? Where was that like the whole year where we're practicing these things and putting it on tape and like it was just stale, bland football that I just don't know who to blame. Like everybody and Petula will get the stick. We'll get the shaft, and he'll get. He's already been removed, and he might stick with the team. I
Did
don't know
he?
if you
What
saw
was,
that.
oh, I wanted to ask you. I didn't want to jump ahead when you mentioned it earlier, but what was the official? Was he fired or what happened?
No, Nick Sirianni said he will not be the offensive coordinator, but he could still stay with the staff. So this is Nick Sirianni clearly being very, very loyal to this guy because he came in from the Colts with Sirianni, so he's been here the whole time. He'll probably stay with the team, it looks like, but they're going to get a new offensive coordinator. So which is funny because now it's like, okay, so we just played a whole year without an offensive coordinator. If that's what you're telling us, like this guy's not an offensive coordinator. You're telling us by your actions, okay, we just run a whole year without a coordinator in like we lauded this and we celebrated this like the Howie contract dispersion where this all blows up in I think 2029 or maybe 2030 when the TV deal comes in. So now I'm talking about cap
Might be
structure.
earlier. It might be earlier. Yeah.
I think it's 2029.
Okay.
Well, anyway, you'll notice in a lot of the Eagles contracts, they're all backloaded. They have dead money that blow up and balloon in this 2029 year when the NFL renegotiates streaming rights and their television rights. And so this is when they could get a big pay bump for cap salary space. So it's pretty smart in that regard. But I say that to say those are all moves that this is a win now year. We have Saquon Barkley, we have AJ Brown. This was a win now year. To go the whole year without a coordinator, I don't know if they couldn't find a better one. Like even a fresh voice in college would have been better. Like
Yeah.
a
It
college guy giving that guy a shot would have been better than this year. It looked
yeah.
horrible this year.
It yeah, it was I have a couple of ideas. It felt like, do you remember when we had Matt Patricia, and it was my whole theory at the time and like afterwards looking back was what they were doing was they were transitioning from a 4-3 to a 3-4,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just making that transition, and it looked bad, and the defense was getting beat everywhere because the players were changing the philosophy like mid-season.
Mm-hmm.
And
And
so
they
they
were
were just
miserable.
like,
Yeah, they
yeah,
looked miserable. Yeah.
and they were this felt like a similar thing of like they're changing the philosophy. I just don't know how or who is the person doing that. Like, what is going on that is making a change? And if so, I can't identify exactly what that change might be. Um, but it felt like a similar type of product that we were watching, which is this bland thing that they're trying
Mm-hmm.
to install, and just like this philosophy. The other thing I wanted to say is, um, you mentioned the two tight ends and Calcaterra blocking an edge. My theory, I think, is going to be that this offensive line was really banged up and they had no alternatives because of the money.
Mm-hmm.
And they just trotted them out there, and they just had to support them with tight ends. And
Mm-hmm.
when everything looks bad, sometimes it's the offensive line and the way it's putting things together. The reason
Yeah.
he's rolling out in a specific way or the way he's not feeling comfortable in the pocket is because of the way, like, you know, the team is, the offensive line is. I mean, I do think Jalen Hurts bailed and shouldn't have, and the offensive line is, but I wouldn't be shocked if we have like some off-season procedures happening with like Dickerson, Malata,
Mm-hmm.
Jurgens, where, they were just gritting through some things. And a part of the reason everything was so bland was because the offensive guard can't pull because
Yeah.
all he can do is push forward. So, okay, great. Well, we'll just do that and just spam, the inside zone, because that's all these guys can do is just fire off, and they
Mm-hmm.
can't really run in space or whatever. So who knows? It's a theory. It could just be their shit and the coordinator's dog shit. That could be true, but I think there could
I
be
like
some
that.
legs to that.
I like that theory, and with that theory, it kind of like segues into forward thinking. What does the off season look like? And I kind of get excited. I know it's early. This might be the earliest I might have transitioned into. I'm excited for off season stuff with this team because we
Yeah,
have a good team, and like you
yeah,
said,
and they were so
we
tough to watch.
yeah, and you're almost relieved that the season's over, kind of in a way.
Yeah, yep,
Like you said, because the defense is young in there. If we keep Nakobe Dean, we keep Reed Blankenship if he's cheap. Um, and then who's the other big one on defense that I really hope Jordan Davis. You should get
yeah.
paid. Needs to get paid. So Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, gonna be tough to keep all these guys.
Phillips,
Oh,
Phillips.
Phillips is another big one.
I think Reed
Um,
might have extended already. I think he
oh,
might have.
we'll have to dive into like an off season where we can like an off season
Yeah, maybe that's what
pod
we do.
coming up here.
Yeah,
But at least to your point, the defense, I was going to say, it seems, besides those pieces, seem pretty intact because they're pretty young. Their contracts are younger, cheaper contracts. The offense, I would love to see a reload with some young, fresh talent on the offensive line. And maybe we already have it with Cameron Williams and Hinton. But maybe we start
yep.
to see them coming into the fold in year two. They kind of redshirted this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they are massive, massive guys that they played tackle in college. They had a year under their belt here in the NFL, but they didn't really play. Maybe they move them in like Mekhi Becton to guards, and then we have actual depth at guards where if these injuries happen, we can actually have a mauling offense. That was the whole strength of the year. So that would be
Well,
fun. Well, the year they won was
yeah.
the the run with Saquon. But
that was the other thing we haven't even talked about. Lane Johnson didn't play, and that was massive. I think they're so bad without him. They're so
they are.
bad without him. Like
Mm-hmm.
over his career, I'd love to see. It's not really a big thing in the NFL, but in the NBA, it's like the on-off splits and all that stuff. Like those stats are
Yeah.
pretty fair and like accessible. They're usually pretty mainstream, but I
Mm-hmm.
would love to see the on-off with Lane Johnson, the games he plays and doesn't. Now, no excuse. The 49ers, dude, they were decimated. So like
Mm-hmm.
no excuse. So that's part of the reason we didn't bring it up as early as we could have, but they are just a different team with him, and it is pretty tough to look at what it's like without him. I do think you're right. I think those tackles might be able to come
I
in
did
and really play.
pull a split up. So the report here from early 2026. So a combined record when they don't have Lane Johnson is 15-27 without him.
Is that like his whole career? It
That's what
looks
it
like.
says. Yeah, it looks like it. So 15-27. So he's a rookie in 2013. So 13
Yep.
years ago. And the Eagles are roughly 120 and 62-1 with him, but without him are 15-27 without him.
Wow.
And people have said Brandon Lee Gouton on
Yep.
the Philly special. He's a beat reporter for them.
That's
But
right.
it seems like the word in the locker room is like people, like the other players, look to him as the best player on the team. And
Yeah.
so that kind of mentality too, without him, the last 4 or 5 games, I think it was,
Mm-hmm.
that also, I think, like you're saying, that also could have been, as much as it was his play, the mentality and the like seeing him in the huddle, him being around,
Yeah.
that could have been part of it too. Which is why it'd be nice to reload on the offensive line because he's only getting older, So I mean, he's getting up there. It'd be nice to have an heir apparent for him.
Yeah. And hopefully those tackles kind of do like a Mulata and they could really develop. They weren't high draft
Mm-hmm.
picks, but maybe they could develop in a way. But Lane was such a freak where it's really impossible to kind of replicate who he is. I mean, crazy. He anchored like 2 Super Bowl teams, which is kind of
Mm-hmm.
nuts. Well,
Yeah.
3 that went there. He went to 3.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which is what a crazy career over 13 years. Like obviously Kelsey and BG and Fletcher were part of that core as well, but Lane is the best one of them, like by a lot.
Think about his career. He's won 120 games, lost 62, and tied 1. So he
Yeah.
wins like 2-1, basically. Like his
Yeah.
winning percentage is almost like that's pretty nuts. Like that's a pretty great. Like when you step on the field, you're more than likely going to win the game with Lane on the field.
Yeah.
Or for him, he wins 2-1. That's pretty great.
You know what didn't
So
happen? Do you remember they got that dude Kenyon
Green,
from
Kenyon Green.
Green? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, we traded CJ Gardner Johnson for that guy.
And like
And
a fifth or something. Yeah.
what
Like a
if
10th.
he does like an Isaiah Rogers type deal? What if he just has been marinating in the background for a year? He comes back next year and he's the guard. And we got the combo of Hinton and I don't know. I think they've got a lot of draft picks. I don't think that's I think he's just a bust and it's fine. But they do have a lot of draft picks. Their draft
Well,
now.
it's 6, I believe 6, and most of them are within the 5th is the latest. So they're all within 176, I think. So
Yeah.
176 and up when I looked at this. So they have a couple fifths, they have a couple fourths, and a couple thirds, I think. The
So they
compensation
go
pick, they have the Jets pick, which is good in the third. And they have compensation, hopefully, with that third coming. I think that was the Milton Williams one. And then their first and second, which we're at 23 now, we confirmed.
yeah, so it's
But yeah.
I'm looking at a tweet from Jeff McClain where it's got number 23, 54, 68, 98. So 4 in the first 100 is pretty
Mm-hmm.
solid. and then you've got, so that's 1, 2, 3, 3. And then you've got 2/4, 2/5, which is pretty great. Like for a 6 and a 7, you just trade up and you've got better draft picks. Like you can always get a 6 and a 7 and trade back or whatever, depending on how the board falls or whatever. But I mean, that's pretty good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks in the top 180. Like that's pretty solid. So they do have some ammo, and who knows, Alex, we'll get into this later, but trade AJ Brown maybe, and you get like another first, another second, future first, something like that. You get some draft capital that way. I don't know. But
it would be a
we'll
huge
talk about
dead
it.
cap. Cap hit. His cap hit is 23 million. His dead cap says 72 million. Is that right?
Now, is that true if they trade him? Like the other team doesn't take that on?
I just because I think it's the number of years, right? But with Howie, all this dead money, his base salary is silly. It's like $1,300,000. Same with Lane, but it's all in like signing bonus. He got like 8 million in signing bonus. So there's some wacky accounting going on here that I would need to look at, I think, further to fully understand all this. Because you look at it, the cap hit says what it is for this year is like 23 million, but that doesn't necessarily mean that's how much it frees up for you moving forward. But it looks like they do have some cap space. It looks like they're 19th on their top 51, so 21 million. So there's some play where they could do a trade to free up some more of that, or not sign somebody and maybe even get a free agent or two,
Yeah.
So that's possible too.
The other guy, the free agent we haven't talked about is Dallas Goedert is the other one. So
Yeah, that's a tough
it's
one.
Phillips, Nakobe Dean, Goddard, Reed Blankenship, and I guess Jordan Davis. They've got options on Carter and Nolan Smith. Now, it looks like Jordan Davis could be eligible for an extension. So he holds a guaranteed option for 26.
It sounded like Jordan Davis will definitely get the extension. It sounded like though, like in the post game interviews, I heard Jordan Davis interviewed about Nakobe Dean, and I heard Nakobe Dean interviewed. It sounded like he just doesn't have a deal on the table. Nakobe Dean doesn't, and they got Campbell already.
Yeah, and they paid Vaughn.
Yeah, and so I just feel like he's the odd man out, but it just kills me because he's like the heart of that defense, and like the players love him, and he like helped, I feel like, coach up the players even when he was injured. Like,
yeah,
he seems like he has so much additional value than just on-field value. I just hope they sign him back because he seemed
it'll
like
be.
the real.
I think it's going to be between him and Phillips. You can't keep those because they both. And I think it'd be cool to keep Dean, but what Phillips does, you really would need a lot more from Jalix Hunt. If
Phillips, that's just a harder position. It's like he's 6'5", 260. He's like the perfect size for an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Edge rusher is a premier position. That's just, that's tough.
It is tricky. It's funny because Phillips is like almost the same age as Sweat. You know what I mean? They got rid of Sweat, but I guess they got a comp pick for Sweat. And then you get Phillips, you got to pay him later. And, but is it an interesting comparison? Who knows? I think Phillips probably profiles as he was like a higher draft pick and Sweat was more of a project. But as far as like their functionality, they have a similar function they have with the team. But Yeah, I feel like Dean, unfortunately, with the draft, like he's another one where they could look at it the same as Sweat, where they go, we already drafted his replacement. We're going to be okay without him. And then we get a comp pick for him. So we'll eventually get compensated. I don't know. It would suck because I feel like having those three linebackers, Campbell, and then Bond and Dean, it's just tricky to get them on the field all at the same time as Phillips and Nolan Smith and the 2 D tackles.
Jalix and yeah.
It's just like, it's cool because they can all kind of move around. But anyway, I think we got pretty deep in the weeds on the birds here, and I think we'll do probably a lot more. We'll do a lot
get
more
into this
in the off season. Yeah, but oh man, what a season! I think we'll just keep going with the playoffs here, and then I think, Alex, we start getting and looking for some guests to get on for the as we transition into the off season.
Yeah,
I think we really start introducing some people to the fold and see what we can do. We could do some like more hypothetical sports chat. Sounds pretty fun. We can also get into some TV, some pop culture type stuff. Also, Alex, the Winter Olympics are coming out the weekend. It's the opening ceremony is Super Bowl weekend. So we can ride end of Super Bowl right into Winter Olympics and get really wild and wacky about it if you want. But
I would
just an idea.
We could do that. Do like another pick'ems for our events and stuff that we want. Like, oh, hey, this curling guy is supposed to be amazing.
That could be really
also,
good.
Jake, the Sixers are exciting. The Sixers are very exciting. Edge
Fly guys.
Electric. Yep, Fly guys are good. And I'm excited for Phillies baseball when that time comes around. Spring comes around. Jake,
you have to hold my hand. You have to hold my hand for that.
I will. But, Jake, remember for loyal listeners, remember the people that I delivered the plates to, my grandmother's friends. And I delivered the plates to. So my grandmother's friends, they texted me and they have Phillies tickets, and they were talking about the All-Star game is in Philly this year. So little tease.
Alex, I'll be in Philly. I'll be in Philly around then.
Ooh,
do we do a little podcast tease? Outing?
I don't know, Jake. Well, anyway, for the listener, if you're given an opportunity to deliver plates for your grandmother, you do it because you don't know what's on the other side. You don't know what's on the other side.
Did you ever thank her for the fruitcake? We
had a whole call. I talked about how she grew up in Philadelphia and the streets that she that she lived on, and the church that she went on.
I'm sure.
Right by the Franklin Institute there, Jake. She grew up. She was a city girl. And she used to, but it's so much worse these days.
Everything is.
It's always worse.
Everything
these
days.
Yeah,
we do love her. We do love her dearly. We love her dearly.
Little mama.
Great episode, Alex. Fun time. Really good stuff. I think that's another one of Going Yard. See ya.
Going Yard.
Get out of here.
Love you, brother. See ya.
Love you. See you, brother.
Bye.